Hi, I'm Keegan. Welcome to Backbreakers. Let's start your crew training. Today I'm going to be showing you how to properly shrink a dresser here to ensure that the drawers don't come out when you're carrying it. It can also be useful if you're going to be dollying the item. On top of that, next I will be showing you how to pad the item if you do decide that you want to dolly it to ensure the safety of the piece. So that's the basics of actually shrinking the piece. You basically just want to ensure that all the drawers, doors, any sorts of moving parts are fully covered to prevent them from falling out on you while you're carrying. This will prevent damages to walls or injuries to hands as you're carrying the item. Okay. Next step that I'd like to show is how to properly pad the item, specifically if you plan to dolly it. We want to ensure that everything is covered and that the pad stays in place to make sure that nothing is scratched by the metal. So most of the time you'll end up wanting 2 pads to cover a piece of this size. One of the most important parts is making sure you have a little bit of overhang here on the front. It's going to make sure that the feet are covered on the front. And even though we do have a little bit of padding on this side, it's always nice to use an extra one just to ensure that you're covering all aspects of the piece itself. So now that I have the pad on the piece, I'm going to want to fold each side. This side here and the side on the opposite. You want to make sure that you're covering the front and both the sides. That way when it's getting loaded into the truck, you have 3 points of contact for protection. Blue bands, which is our medium size because this is more of a medium sized dresser. And from here, you want to take the crease along the side of the piece and just fold it right around the back. And then you'll want to do the same thing on the other side. Just take that crease, fold it around, make sure you're protecting the side properly, and bring that band all the way over. And usually, I would say in most cases, if not all, you're going to want to put 2 bands on a piece like this if you plan to dolly it, because you're going to be tipping it up on its side in order for you to maneuver it. And with the second band, you're going to want to go all the way to the bottom, basically to where the feet are at, like right about here. Check all your ends, make sure everything is nice and tight and secure. And from this point, you should be ready to go and get it on a dolly. Okay. Part of the reason that I pad it like this before putting it on a dolly is to ensure that the top and the corners don't get scratched when you put it against the hard metal. It also helps to keep from chipping on the blade of the dolly itself. The reason I put 2 bands on there is because, as you'll see when I flip it on its side, the bottom would usually want to flop out. It would basically create a mess, and it would be more difficult for you to move the piece like that. So we're going to tip it on its side, moving the dolly little bits at a time as we go, and then bringing it down nice and easy. And from here, once you have the dolly up on its side, you can see that everything is still intact and there's still full coverage. Obviously, the feet are exposed, but at the moment, these aren't touching anything. So there shouldn't be any damage caused to that area. And just like that, you're good to go.